I think one thing and you mentioned it, I think the thing that we should start with is the power play, which has already been referenced.
Well, and let me add one more thing.
Okay.
You have no assets to do trades. Okay, well, do me a favor, put on the hot dog costume, and we're all going to try to find the guy who did this.
Yeah. So the power play is interesting because for the second season running, the power play is bad through the first 30 games.
Uh-huh.
And, you can get away with that one season because, hey, the power play rebounded and actually they were really good and they turned it on towards the end of the season and that's great. Okay. You can't do that 2 years in a row.
I might be wrong. Last year, their power play was bad. I don't remember it being close to this.
Well, no, it wasn't 31st in the league, which is what it is this morning at 14.1%.
I can't believe they're not decidedly 32nd.
Well, and
No, Calgary exists.
Calgary.
That's
Calgary can't
insane.
But Calgary is an NHL team. They're going to be below everybody else.
Like, it's crazy to me that any team is capable of being worse than this. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
And Toronto, according to Travis Yost, is tied with Calgary for dead last at 4.7 goals per 60 on the power play this year. So they're as bad as Calgary. And Flames
Just
fans
turn
are
it
like,
down.
oh man, you're as bad as us. Holy
Just
shit.
turn it down.
Well, so this is where I noticed last night a little bit where Berube is like, oh, my big message is I'm going to start the second power play unit on the fourth power play of the game that we've gotten. Mm-hmm. And, at a certain point, he's got to look down the bench at the guy he's friends with, who he brought from St. Louis, and say, you're not the guy, pal. Mm-hmm. That's where the accountability starts.
Mike Van Ryn too.
Sure,
on
whatever. But the power play guy is Mark Savard.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to set up for everyone the implications of Berube getting fired.
Yeah, but let's
other guys
talk about,
are probably gone
Let's just
too.
talk about other sports for a second here.
Sure.
Where they fire offensive defensive coordinators.
All the time.
All the time. This guy can't do it. This guy can't do it. You've got all the proof. You've got over $50 million on the first power play unit, and two of the guys have not had a power play point in 20 games. I don't know. I don't know what you need to switch that up. Also, the best defenseman on the team is not on the first unit.
Yeah.
Befuddling. Oliver Ekman-Larsson is not on the first power play unit. Are you kidding me? And this is where it all sort of starts, because if you get a couple power play goals, you're in that game.
How many? What were they? 0 for 5? 0 for 4 or 0 for 5?
Yeah.
How many games this season have they gotten 5 power play opportunities?
Zero games. I don't think that's ever happened.
And they completely blew it.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about it on the show. It's difficult for me, right? Like, I know Savvy a little bit, and it's unjustifiable. It's unjustifiable. I can't do it. How can you possibly? They're 31st, tied with the team he came from.
Yeah.
How with Austin Matthews, who is still capable of some things, William Nylander, Matthew Nyes, John Tavares, and whoever else you want to put there, how are you getting 4.7? What was it? 4.7 goals per 60?
All good.
It's unjustifiable.
Yeah.
And, I've been saying on the show, like, how often do you see an assistant coach fired by themselves mid-season? It is rare, but it does happen.
In other sports, it happens all the time.
Yeah. Well, it happens in hockey too. It's so rare that we forget about it. And the Habs did it, but I think it was like right before the season began a few years ago. And one of the most recent teams to do it, and I wasn't shocked at all. I was like, man, who did it? Oh, them. That makes sense. The Minnesota Wild. They did it. I think it was 2022. And I'm like, God, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Just a team that never whines and complains about, well, we can't do it. We couldn't possibly do it. Bill Guerin, there's a reason they talk about him like he's Randy March trying to get weed. That guy slams it on the table and the windshield of your car shatters with the Kaprizov contract and trading for Quinn Hughes. And the unfathomable psychosis of buying out Zach Parise and Ryan Suter at the same time for the cap penalty that the Wild had to endure for years.
3 years. 3 years of $15 million against the cap.
That's crazy. And what does he have to show for it? He's able to afford the risk of going out and spending a ton of his future on Quinn Hughes because he has done such a good job drafting. He's able to spend $1 bajillion on Kirill Kaprizov because he's done such a good job on contracts. If you are a fan of anyone, really, and you just need a good cry, like you just need to get it out of you, go and look at Boldy and Faber's contracts. Oh, my God. And the reason they have the cap space to do these things is because of the sacrifice that was made a few years ago. They have 2 potentially top 10 goalies in the NHL. Like
2 of the best young players.
And I know what we're talking about. Like, I'm getting a little sidetracked. I know what we're talking about is the idea of firing an assistant coach. I am routinely saddened and disheartened by my team can't do this or won't do this. The only team that would even think about doing this is followed by a good team.
Vegas, Minnesota, a few of the ruthless teams. Florida's a ruthless team.
Florida,
Tampa can be ruthless. Here's what I want
to
say.
If your plan is to just not do anything, you could have hired me and I would have cost a lot less.
One of the things that I've been thinking about, guys, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this is, whatever Berube's time in Toronto was going to be, it seems like the Mark Savard hire is going to sink him. It seems like that decision above any others is the decision that will end Berube's time in Toronto. And I think we're past the point now where you're looking at firing an assistant coach. I think you're blowing the staff out. This is not a oh, well, you know what, we'll fire Savard and things will turn around. Because what's happened on the power play is sort of the most microscopic, that's the thing the flashlight's on, right? Or the spotlight.
Yeah.
But when you look at the rest of the game that they are playing, it's a piece of the bigger, shittier pie.
Well,
and
the goaltending has picked up. The defense has, somewhat improved from at least the beginning of the season, and at least they're getting offense from their defense.
Yep.
Their bottom 6 has picked up. Their PK has picked up. The power play and top 6 suck. Well, the top 6 and the power play are made of the same dudes. And the devil's advocate there is, well, if those guys suck, then the whole pie turns to shit, I guess. But you can't have the 31st ranked power play. You can't.
Jesse, do you think that there's any chance the Leafs go, all right, half measure this? We flip out Savard for whoever the fuck, and we keep going with the Berube team? Because what I am seeing, and I think Steve mentioned this on the LFR, I'm seeing a team that is telegraphing to management every night, we don't want to play for this guy. And I'm not talking about Savard, I'm talking about Berube.
The Savard thing, he shouldn't have ever gotten the job. And I think it's a good point that if you look at Savard and the way the tenure has gone, you got to then question the decision-making of the people who hired him and then keep him in that position. Because Berube loves Savard because they worked together in St. Louis in the 1920 season, where the Blues had the 3rd best power play. So he's like, oh, he's great in power play. He goes to Calgary for the 23-24 season after coaching the Windsor Spitfires, and they have the 19th best power play. Not good. Not good. Comes to Toronto, it's a mess. At the beginning of the year last year, they pick up. They're in and around where they should be last year by the end of it. And then this year, it's a disaster. But you look at Mark Savard and what he's done, like, he should have never been in this position other than, like, Berube really liked him from 5 years previous. And the game's changing so fast. What he's asking these players to do clearly isn't working in this world's NHL that might have worked in 5 years ago's NHL with the 1920 Blues.
And
that was pre-COVID.
It's another.
Yeah, that season was ended by COVID and then the bubble and all that. Yeah.
It's another disappointment of the Leafs where, like, again, you're a multi-billion-dollar team. The one place where you are completely unhindered is you can spend as much money as you want on as much staff, scouting, coaching, executives, anything. And who do you hire? The coach's friends.
Yeah.
You're just you're an NPC of a team.
So
Any team who doesn't really understand what they're doing is going to be like, yeah, I'm just going to hire my friends. Like, so you're just, listen, I want special results for special money. And MLSE ownership is getting ripped the fuck off. And I mean, I know fans are sick of getting ripped off, and it'd be nice if ownership was too, but they just got more to blow, I guess.
So just back
Let's get back to the thing though.
There's clearly a disconnect between the players, the front office in Brad Treliving, and Berube, and then Berube's staff. He thinks Savard's the guy for this. They want the players to play a certain way, and it's on the power play in particular, and it's clearly not working. And then as for the game as a whole, he's asking the players to play this really dump and chase, attack the puck kind of style of hockey that they're not capable of playing because they're not those types of players. But Brad Treliving hasn't brought in players that can play the Berube style of hockey. And that's where that whole disconnect is going in this organization, why they're losing so much. So it's a matter of where do you want to chop this thing at the knees to fix it? Do you want to fix it by bringing in a new coach to try and get these collection of players to play a different way? Or do you say to the GM, you need to build a better roster that's going to play more in this style? Because I don't think, I look at the roster on paper, I've said it a couple times, I don't think the talent's there to win the way they're trying to win.
No, I think you're right. I think
Brad
it's a mismatching style.
Yeah, he didn't build a good team to win in this way. It's an ugly D. The injuries are a thing. You got to take that into consideration.
Yeah, but like,
even that the forward group is so uninspiring. You know, there aren't the pieces there where I think this team can contend for a Stanley Cup.
No chance.
But those were their goals coming into the season.
I mean, they should. So they have enough. They do have enough to be in the playoffs.
They have enough talent. I don't think they're playing the right style.
I don't know if they do.
They have enough.
I think they do have
enough. They have enough.
I disagree with you fully on that, Jesse. I appreciate where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But this team is better. I will say it until I'm blue in the face. This team is better than what they've shown. Like I told you, I think it's a relationship that's gone sour after 18 months. I don't think there's a fit between players and coach.
I look at what it takes to win in this league and the way you got to play, and I don't know if the talent exists on the roster, if any coach would be able to get this collection of players into that with all of the injuries that they've dealt with for this season, if this team would be anywhere other than a 6 through 11 team. That's where I'm not looking at like, oh, they're either in the playoffs or not. It's that range of teams. I don't think the collection of the roster on paper and with everything they've gone through is anything more than that little range of flirting on the playoff line.
Well, especially if your best player isn't scoring 70 goals anymore.
Yeah,
not even 50.
Dude,
that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know how you look at this roster and think, oh, if they were playing up to their abilities, they're a division winner. It's not there.
No, not division. No.
I mean, I think they could win this division. I mean, Tampa was the division leader a week ago, and they've lost 7 of 9. Right? Like it's and the injury bug has bit them too. Like I do think the division's wide open. I don't think it's a good division.
Yeah.
You're not going to win the Colorado-Dallas division.
But they don't have one player I look at. I'm like, that's the superstar all-star because Austin isn't that anymore. And then the rest of like Willie's not trying on 3/4 of the ice, and JT's been cold for so long. Nyes is young and isn't playing like the bulldog he should be. What am I pointing at that's good? The fourth liner center?
Yeah.
I know.
Like, oh man, Lawton's really good. That doesn't win you. What does that win you?
It doesn't win you anything.
Your fourth line center is your best player?
It wins someone else the cup is what it does when you trade him.
Yeah.
And like, oh my God, imagine what you could get for Scott Lawton. You can get like a first in Grebenkin.
Right. So like
You could double retain on him. Someone's gonna get Scott Laughton for less than league min.
500
750 grand,
Like,
something like that.
So I think long and short of that, I think everybody's responsible for everything that's gone wrong here. It's Brad Living not building a good roster. The players aren't good enough. Berube doesn't know how to coach these players, and Mark Savard sucks at his job.
Can I show you how deep the rot goes? By the way, like because I'm operating like the Berube and his staff are gone. I doubt Lalonde goes just because he's
I don't know.
so new. I don't know. But like I'm operating under the assumption Berube and his staff are gone. So, okay, you got to go into the market, but people might not necessarily want to sign with you right now or Okay, so you promote guys from the Marlies. How many teams in the AHL have a worse power play percentage than the Marlies?
Probably nobody.
The answer is 6.
Oh, okay.
So it's not quite as bad as you thought. How many teams have fewer power play goals in the AHL than the Marlies?
I have no idea.
2. They have 11.
Well, I don't think the Marlies are going to come up and fix the power play, though. That's not what I expect.
No. I'm not saying Marlies players. I'm like,
Oh, you mean coaching? Staff? Yeah, no. I think that, but when we talk about what Berube and Tree, who seem to be on the same page in terms of what they want out of the team, I think it's pretty clear that it's not going to work with either of them.
They don't connect on the players that they want.
They don't?
Like I think it's very clear with what Berube is doing with Michelli in
Yes.
that is Brad Living's one of the bigger signings this offseason. Like shame on us for thinking
Trades?
that was a big
paid an asset.
Trades.
We have no assets. Why?
Yeah.
Gotta have
You
Ross
paid
for
an
free.
honest to God asset for Matthias Michelli.
That's one of his biggest offseason acquisitions, and Berube hates that player and doesn't think he should be out there and won't play him. There is clearly a disagreement in philosophy amongst who should be on the ice.
Yep.
And who the organization should have in the organization to play hockey for them. So who's gonna be the one that's gonna lose their job to then usher in somebody who's connected as a whole in how this organization should be run? I think that's an important question.
If you want to go even deeper, the Leafs star goalie from last year is in witness protection. The best player in the franchise's history scored 69 goals. This is the order of events. He scored 69 goals. We were told he was fine. Then we were told he was day-to-day. Then he's in fuck-off Europe. Then he misses a month. Then he comes back. Then he's still pretty mid. By the end of the season, he put together a pretty good season, but it wasn't near his usual standard. Mm-hmm. This season begins, and we're like, here we go.
And they tell us he's healthy.
And they tell us he's healthy, and he says he's healthy, and so he's healthy. And it's like, oh, so you're just bad then?
Yeah.
You're just bad then.
I think part of it, too, is there's nobody getting him the puck on his line.
Okay, there's no one getting him the puck. What if it's harder to get him the puck?
It could be, but I don't think anybody's getting him the puck.
No one's getting him the puck.
I mean, we talked about that power play from the previous game last episode, and I'm like, it went from Nyes to Nylander to Riley the entire time, and Matthews didn't touch it. And he had the puck 11 seconds for the first 2 periods, and people are going to say, well, that's on him. I'm sorry, actually, guys, that's not, because Austin is not a power play quarterback. Austin is the guy that you get the ball to. As I go back, oh, you know what? I don't feel like passing the ball to Michael Jordan. I don't feel like passing the ball to LeBron.
All right, Austin, well, hold on to your socks. Here's William Nylander instead.
And he's completely disinterested.
So,
and those two played together for a solid 4 years.
Oh yeah.
And had great results.
So there's the conversation about Berube and the coaching staff, and they definitely can't motivate these guys, and they definitely don't listen to them. But also the stars are paid very well and are playing like shit because they are hurt or sick or just bad now. We don't know. There is nothing to have faith in the Leafs organization at all.